Hello and welcome to Wooden Slut, a channel where I discuss many things under the sun. That includes sometimes sexuality, sometimes sex robots, sometimes psychology, science, technology, and whatnot. And although I talk about sexuality, human sexuality, of course, there is no vulgarity in this channel. Let me assure you. And I don't promote any kind of vulgarity through this channel. Today's question is if we drop something from space, what happens to that material or matter? Dropping something means it could be many things. Suppose a couple having physical intimacy and accidentally the man drops something. It was supposed to drop somewhere, but somehow he drops it from the sky. What happens to that matter? We can compare it with an egg, okay? So we can understand this properly. It will fall, first of all. Fall means gravity is the force that pulls everything towards Earth. And it's a, gravity is a force. Basically, it pulls objects with mass towards each other. And Earth's gravity constantly pulls everything on or near it downwards. So it will, when the man drops something, it could be half liquid, half solid, something in between. And it is dropping towards Earth because it is under the influence of Earth's gravity. Even at high altitudes, this pull is significant. And of course, if it is hard enough, like an egg, when it finally hits the earth or any solid surface, if it hits the earth and falls on sea, then nothing happens. That's a different thing. But if it hits the earth, solid surface, it will, the built up speed, of course, translate it to a large force of impact. As a result, it will crack the egg. And if it's half liquid something, then of course it will not crack, but it will scatter on the earth. There isn't actually a height where gravity stops working completely. There is not any height. That means if you go upward and upward and upward, consider a space station, International Space Station, ISS. It's an object also, and it normally belongs at a distance around 400 kilometers from the Earth. Okay. At this height, gravity is weaker, much weaker, but it's still strong enough to keep the ISS in its orbit. I mean, in the planet's orbit. But constantly falling towards Earth, but missing due to the its high sideways velocity because international space station always orbits with a sideways velocity. Okay, and it's revolves around the Earth in a high speed. That is why it doesn't fall. Right? Consider Moon. Moon orbits Earth at a much further distance, because it is around 384,000 kilometers away. Remember, 300,000 or more than nearly 400,000 kilometers away. Right? Even at this distance, Earth's gravity is what keeps it in its orbit. I mean, in Earth's orbit. So moon is in the Earth's orbit, although it is almost 400 kilometers away. Think about it. There, so gravity is so strong, right? Now, can we suppose we reach some point where Earth's gravity does not work, or we reach or achieve a velocity that completely breaks it from the gravitational force or pull of that celestial body. That means that means the man, instead of dropping something from somewhere, some limb of, or body part, he throws that liquid or half liquid at a certain velocity, ejects that half liquid substance with a certain velocity so that it escapes velocity altogether, escapes gravity rather. That means it is called escape velocity, the concept called escape velocity, but it completely breaks through the gravitational pull and moves upward. I mean, not downward towards gravity, towards Earth, but upward. Is it possible? Yes, theoretically it is possible with 11.2 kilometers per second. Remember, 11.2 kilometers per second. That means 40,320 kilometers per hour. More than 40,000 kilometers per hour speed. Right? We can completely break free from the gravitational pull and go away from Earth completely. That means if that man ejects from his body something at that speed, that means 40,320 kilometers per hour speed upwards, it would not fall back down. It would escape Earth's gravity altogether. And while traveling space, be careful, because if you drop something from the space and if you cannot eject it with a velocity of 40,320 kilometers per hour, it will come back to the Earth. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.